Welcome to Insurance Alert Broadcast. I am Vivek Jain here, Editor in Chief. Today we are going to talk to Mr. Sanjeev Jha. Mr. Jha is MD Fairfirst Insurance Company, Sri Lanka. With Mr. Jha, we are going to find out the importance of education in insurance industry and business scenario in Sri Lanka. So let's talk to him. So my first question to you is, what do you think is the role of education in enhancing the penetration and distribution of insurance in your country, Sri Lanka, and globally also?
I think Vivek, you and I have been part of the insurance industry for many decades now, and what I've realized, and many people will realize, is that if you want to succeed in insurance, if you want to grow insurance, it starts with a basic curiosity. I think as underwriters, we have to be curious about someone else's concerns, whether the someone else is like has a restaurant, or whether he's making satellites. The curiosity has to come to us as underwriters, where we are able to understand the other person's needs and concerns. That can't happen without education. If I'm not educated enough in understanding how the world is changing, what a website developer does, or what a chef does, if I don't know those things, I will not be able to underwrite. And if I can't underwrite, he or she can't do their business well, because what they need to do from the insurance company is that they need to pass off the bad risk to us and maintain their business risk with them. It's like you're running a blog, so you can maintain your business risk with you, but if there's a cyber hacking, you would like an insurance for that. I think, and so I think the it starts with curiosity. It starts with the ability of the underwriter to say, no, I want to do something. Now, whether it is like doing a micro insurance in Gujarat, whether it is doing something else, whether it's a very complex insurance of events and stuff like that. But it has to start with that. And for that, some level of education is required, because I think what education does, it provides two things. If it's done well, education, it provides the spark in the individual, saying that I will learn, I will be curious, I will keep reading things, I'll keep learning things. And the second thing is it provides discipline. So it says, okay, if I'm educated, I will take the effort of reading something else and learning about it. Again, insurance is all about contracts. You can't do it if you're not disciplined and detailed. So I think it's a very intrinsic, education is very, very intrinsic. I think what has happened over the last, in some parts of the world, and what did happen over the last 30, 40 years is that insurance lost its sophistication, its position a bit. If you go back 200, 300 years back, it was a very exciting area. Insurance underwriters were stars. They were like, they were running around trying to insure ships that were going to India from Portugal or wherever, things like that. Somehow we lost that spark of being curious. I think it's coming back, definitely in places like India. It's definitely coming back. When I talk to the international majors, whether it's a Swiss Re or a Munich Re or wherever, some of the things that they are doing is absolutely amazing. Some of the things that we are doing in Sri Lanka also is like very, very fascinating. Things like artificial intelligence and machine language, machine learning. I was talking to a company recently in Finland who does this satellite imaging for understanding how much is the flood intensity. Now these are you can't do it without education. You cannot. So I think it's and I'm not saying that you have to be a bachelor of arts or a master of arts or of science. It's not that. I think it's just a basic ability to be curious about someone else's uh, domain, and to have the discipline of making an effort of learning about it and then providing a solution in terms of underwriting. I think it's very, very important. So education is extremely important, I think.
Great, sir. Uh, what is the role of education in like if you want to increase the sales, because even people are not aware of insurance? So what do you think how important it is, and what steps you think we should or everybody should take to educate the buyers?
Vivek, again, a fascinating and a fascinating issue, and we have been grappling with it for many, many years. It's, I see insurance uh, like going to a dentist. Number one, you need to have teeth. Number two, you need to be aware that your teeth could create major physical problems for you if you don't take care of them. Number three, you need to know what a dentist can do, right? And then therefore finally you go to the dentist in terms of going to the dentist and he looks after you once a month or once in 3 months, whatever it is that you do. Uh, Insurance sales is like that. 90% of the population may not be aware that they need insurance because
Yeah.
again no one has really told them that what can insurance do. I think the only insurance that people are largely aware of is the motor insurance. That is also because of the law, not because of us as the insurance industry people. So I think, and we tend to create more confusion sometimes in our people when we're trying to talk about insurance. We try to make it too complex. Actually, it's not so complex. If I just tell someone that, you know, uh, dear madam, because of this lockdown last 6 months, you've been spending a lot of time on your computer. There is a chance that someone can hack your stuff and take away your passwords, and therefore you might lose some money. Um, they understand that problem. Any person who's on the internet understands what hacking is all about, but they may not be able to understand that there's an insurance that I can provide for that. And I think that's the communication we have to do. Uh, Again, I link it back to Vivek, to the original point is that as insurance, we have to be constantly aware of how the world is changing. We have to keep scanning. We have to keep designing new solutions because if the world is changing, we can't be sitting with something that was designed 30 years back. We have to keep designing something else. And once we design it, we have to communicate it very simply first to our own channel partners, our own intermediaries, and then help them communicate it to the customers. The other area where I think this entire education comes in is that each sales channel, whether it's an individual agent, whether it's a broker, whether it is a affinity partner, whether it's bank assurance, whether it's a internet, each channel is very different. They service quite different. They service many different customer segments, and their business models are very different. Uh, as an insurance company who wants to sell insurance, I need to be aware of those differences. I can't give the same product, the same proposition to everyone. And I think again, it goes back to the thing that, am I making the effort to educate myself about their business models and therefore design products or solutions which helps them rather than me just forcing something out. So I think very important if insurance companies want to sell well, if individual agents want to sell well, very important that we understand what the world is going through, we understand what our customers are going through, and then work with the underwriters and find a suitable solution.
Uh, what are the growth areas of in insurance in your country? Like in India, generally the health is the only thing which is doing very good at the present. About Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka has been it's a slightly it's a very blessed country in many ways. One of the things that Sri Lanka has had quite well is a very strong social welfare network or infrastructure. So, for example, education is free if you qualify. In higher education is free if you qualify certain exams. Medical is free, and it's at a reasonably good quality. The medical is free for all Sri Lankans. So health insurance hadn't really been a big area so far. But having said that, now the private health players are coming in. And as the individuals' economic levels are going up, they're all getting attracted to go towards the private healthcare facility. So insurance is therefore now picking up. That is one area that health is a big area even in Sri Lanka. Though there is free healthcare because of the people's own desire to go to a slightly more luxurious network, they're looking at the insurance for medical. The second big area really is the entire infrastructure area. Sri Lanka is a developing country like India is. It's a very tiny country.
Yeah.
It compared to the size of India, but there's a lot of scope. There's a lot of work happening in terms of developing ports, roads, power stations, things like that. So there's a big growth that is happening there. Third area where again India has done well and got a bit burned is about the entire agriculture and crop insurance. That again is an area that needs to be developed here going ahead because there's a fair amount of uh, valuable cash crop like spices and tea and all that is there,
Yeah.
and that's an area that that we see a scope for. So three are the main sort of potentially growth areas. We think the Sri Lankan economy will change in the next 5 to 10 years. We think it will become much more sort of a knowledge driven. It's largely been a commodity driven and export driven market. It's going to transition into a much more knowledge driven, and that will create some more insurance opportunities around things like the entire IT space, the education space, areas like that.
How's life insurance market?
Uh, Not as strong as the Indian life insurance market, and the basic difference has been that for many years in India, there's been a fiscal benefit for taking life insurance. There's been a tax benefit that has driven a lot of life
Yeah.
insurance business there. Sri Lanka hasn't really had that. Only recently they've started some tax benefits for health insurance, but they really haven't had a major benefit in terms of incentivizing life insurance investments. But again, early days, I think it's going to change again. I think as people's income levels improve, uh, all sort of insurance will start becoming more and more attractive.
Fantastic, sir. It was great speaking to you.
Thank you so
Uh,
much, Matt. Thank you.
and thank you very much for your time and telling us about Sri Lanka insurance industry there and on education. So, thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, and look forward to your email soon. Yeah, look forward to
Sure, sir.
joining the 1.5 lakh readers of your early morning email. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.